Hey, it's Jeff McLennan with RE/MAX Advantage, and today I want to talk to you guys about the time I think someone was the most angry with me in real estate that I can ever recall, and how it changed the way I communicate with clients. I always think about this story when it gets snowy like it is today, because it was a snowy day just like this, and you always remember those out here in New West because we don't get a whole lot of them. And to really understand this story, we have to go back to 2008, which was a very different time in real estate. The market was, well, there's no word for it other than crashing, and things were very, very hard to sell. I got a call from a man named Bob who had a condo that he used as a rental suite. He had done all these nice renos to it and it was beautiful, and would I go over and give him a quote on how much I think I could sell it for? So I get over there, and this place is tenanted. He had said I have one very polite overseas student staying there. Well, poor Bob didn't have his information correct. There was not one, but 5 students living in this little one-bedroom, 600 square foot condo, and 3 giant dogs. These dogs had done so much damage to all the renos that Bob had done. They had basically, the tenants had cordoned off with gates a little section of the living room where these dogs peed and pooed, and it was disgusting. I sat down and told him the truth. He thought it was worth about $300,000, which in the condition that he thought it was in, it probably would have been, but it wasn't. Bottom line, I couldn't sell it for more than $250,000. Well, Bob told me I was an idiot, and I said, look, there are tons of realtors who will take your listing. I'm sure you can find one. Good luck. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you sell it. So I'm sitting at home on a day just like today. It is freezing, and I get a call, and Bob's name is on the call display. So I answer the phone, and the first words out of Bob's mouth are, "You're the worst effing realtor," except he didn't say effing, "I've ever dealt with." And I say, "Hello, Bob." And I'm thinking, oh man, he must have sold it and he is calling to tell me off. But that's not what's going on. Bob says to me, "It has been 5 months. Okay, sorry about that. Little bit of technical difficulties. My little gimbal thing, which I use to balance the camera when I'm walking around, just shorted out. I guess it doesn't like the cold weather. Neither do I, really, to be honest. So, where we were is I get a phone call from Bob. It's been 5 months. I haven't gotten one phone call. I haven't seen a sign in the yard. I don't think you've done an open house. And then I cut him off. I'm like, wait, Bob, I'm not your realtor. And he's like, well, you're not my realtor anymore, I can tell you that. And I'm like, no, Bob, we met 5 months ago. I told you $250, you said $300, I said good luck, and that was the end of it. And he said, yeah, it's definitely the end of it. You're fired. And poor Bob has been sitting around for 5 months thinking that his place is listed, not getting a call from his agent, not wondering what's going on, and just stewing. I mean, I can just imagine him getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And so I quickly cut off the conversation and say, look, Bob, I was never your realtor. We never signed a contract. I don't know what you're talking about. Good luck. And then I get another call 5 minutes later, and it's Bob. You should get out of the business. You're so terrible. Yeah. And then he hangs up. And then he calls back and back and back. This goes on till 3 in the morning. And by the end of it, he's calling and asking me, are you mad at me? He's just hammered. My poor wife is like, just stop answering the phone. But I couldn't. I can't tell you why, but I had to know what Bob was going to say next. It really got me thinking, because Bob sat around and he stewed, thinking that his realtor wasn't communicating with him. And I have read many times that the #1 complaint from sellers about their real estate agents is that they do not communicate enough. It is an entirely different complaint with buyers, and I'd be happy to do a video and talk about that sometime. If that's something you're interested, let me know. So how can we improve this? I think the important thing is to set the ground rules. When you hire a realtor, I think it's a really good idea to figure out how often are they going to call you with a general market update. How often are they going to call you after showings? Do you want to call directly after an open house? And one thing I think is important to understand is that the feedback directly after a showing isn't necessarily when you learn a lot. It's the follow-up over the next few days that you really find out from a realtor's perspective what exactly is going on. I think it's very important that before you sign the contract, you talk about how you're going to communicate. Do you prefer being texted? Do you want a phone call? Do you want to get things by email? Everybody's different. I have clients who the way they prefer to get their information is through Facebook Messenger, which is great because I can put them both in on the conversation. If this is important to you, make sure that you set the ground rules with your realtor so that everybody is on the same page, because you don't want to be like Bob sitting around thinking about, what is my realtor doing? I haven't heard from him in 5 months. Anyway, hope you found that interesting, and thanks a lot, and have a great day.